Just a sec. Uh, okay. Let me. While beginning the session, there are always slight glitches, I guess. So, yes. Okay. So, hi, evening, friends. Evening, everybody, bache. I'm Dr. Sushant Soni, MBBS MAMC, MD Pathology, Resident Hemato-Oncology, AIMS Delhi. And I know it has a very nice feel to it, MBBS, MD, Hemato-Oncology, and so on. And very soon, you are also going to have the same fancy degrees in front of you. So let's start. Let's start with our today evening session. That is a session about medical branches, money, work-life balance, and so on. So, firstly, what is the need of this session? This is an attempt that together we'll brainstorm. I'll give you an alternative perspective, what you need right now versus what will be better 5 years down the line. This session will just help you make a more informed choice or more better choice with respect to the branch that you will be choosing. See, this seat selection or this branch selection is going to be with you for the next 20 years. Right now, majority of you're about 24, 25 years old, 26 years old for that matter. So 3 years of PG, 29, and then you'll be working at least till the age of 60 years. So this seat is going to be with you for the next 30 years of life and will decide your level of happiness. So an extremely important session, and let's reach the decisions together. So, Bache, whenever you are deciding with respect to the branch, divide your thought process into three branches. That is, whether you are more inclined towards the medical branches, the surgical branches, or if you want a cooler lifestyle. Cooler lifestyle as in a 9:30 to 5 or a 9:30 to 4:30 job. This is the first. Always categorize the branches in this thought process. I'm saying so because many times I get questions that is, sir, I got a good rank, I got a decent rank, I'll be getting radio as well as medicine, which to choose or whatever. नहीं, that this thought process or this question थोड़ा सा गड़बड़ है, because medicine on one side is hardcore medical branch. You will have night duties, you will be having rigorous trainings, versus radio, which on the other hand is totally cooler. So let us see. Let First thing that you need to do is decide your acumen. That is the medical branches, medicine. Majority of the toppers these days, they are certainly inclined towards medicine, but we want a nicer, cooler lifestyle also. That is radioderma. When we talk of a cooler lifestyle, of course radio takes the peak. I mean, it's the undisputed king, followed by derma, path, and a distant poor cousin, that is micro. This is what we mean by the cooler branches. Now, for somebody who does not have that good a rank that he or she is getting medicine, a very close second to medicine is emergency medicine. Emergency medicine, followed by family medicine, and of course anesthesia. These are the branches which will come under the medical branch category. Acha, one more thing, this is a very very interactive session, so feel comfortable in asking whichever queries that you have. So this comes under medical, versus the surgical branches, which is of course hardcore surgery, no doubt about it, followed by ortho, surgery, ortho. Acha, isme one more thing that I like to say is that many girls ask this question ki sir, I'm inclined towards surgery. Should I be taking surgery, or will the patient be biased while exposing his anal fissures, hydrocele, this, that? My question to you, and especially to the girls, is which if you're willing to slog that much for surgery, and that too when the learning curve for surgery is very gradual, the earning is delayed. The earnings mostly in surgery, even after doing MS surgery, इन प्राइवेट प्रैक्टिस वही लैप्रोस्कोपिक कैमरा ही पकड़ के खड़े होते हैं. गॉल ब्लैडर्स भी थोड़ा सा ना सीनियर सीनियर होने के बाद प्राइवेट में ऑपरेट होता है. द मनी कम्स लेट. सो वाई नॉट, इफ यू आर स्लॉगिंग दैट मच and you want to work hard, why not opt for obs gynae? It is sort of an end branch. TK, you can get into infertility fellowships, this, that, whatever, but it is still an end branch. Money is extremely good, and that too immediately after clearing your PG. Ortho, yes, ortho is pure love. Swati, if especially I'll say this for the guys, bache, if you are inclined towards the surgery branch and have a rank to choose between surgery and ortho, ortho wins hands down, no doubt about it. Plus, among girls also, I guess ortho is much more famous as compared to surgery. Next. Now, talking with respect to the cooler branches. Suppose your thought process is such कि I want a nice, comfortable life. I don't want to work too hard. I want to earn a decent amount of money. Now, decent amount of money for me versus you will be slightly different. But suppose I want to earn approximately 1.4 to 1.6 L per month. That is, and spend whatever money I have, plan a foreign vacation a year, a single foreign vacation a year, and be able to take leaves if needed. So, in that case, of course, without any night duties, no night calls. So, Priya, certainly, Bache, I'll 100% be talking about psychiatry also. So, and no night calls. If this is your thought process, in that case, you should be going for a cooler branch. So, actually, before I go further, see the final decision, the final say has to be yours. What happens is you sometimes take too many inputs from too many people. You listen to your parents, relatives, you even listen to your current boyfriend, girlfriend, current partner, whatever. But this is the most major decision and it has to be yours. And I like to say that there is nothing right or wrong in life. ऐसा नहीं है that if you have a good rank you have to go for, earlier you wanted to take medicine, अब बहुत अच्छी rank आ गई है तो अब रेडियो उठाना है or something. No, it is all about balancing in life and knowing what you wish. Your priorities right now might not be the same set of priorities 5 years down the line. 5 years down the line, say you will be getting married, you will have kids, you money which right now we are taking from parents. As doctors we take money from our parents even till doing PG also. Samuel bache, I will. So the priorities and the lifestyle is going to change. It is going to change. So, when you are deciding a branch, happiness or self satisfaction is any day more important. Acha, one more thing. I actually, Tushar, but I'll take care of all the queries. So, Acha, one more thing that I saw was that I read a beautiful quote actually recently only that success is needed to be happy in life. Nay, I think it is the other way around that happiness breeds success. This is actually a very strong statement that happiness breeds success. If you are happy, if you are content in doing what you love, मतलब if you are content in your job, मनी विल फॉलो. आई नो ये बहुत ही थ्री इडियट्स का क्लिशे स्टेटमेंट हो गया कि झक मार के सक्सेस पीछे आएगी, बट दिस इज़ अ फैक्ट बच्चे. एवरी टाइम इफ यूर आई हियर सो मेनी पीजीज being frustrated in their branches or even senior doctors for that matter. अगर मैं अपने बैचमेट्स की बात करूँ, if I call them कि चलो यार पार्टी करते हैं ये वो, I get free by 5:30. आई मीन जिस दिन आई वर्क टिल 6 PM आई वॉन्ट कि नेक्स्ट डे तो पोस्ट ड्यूटी ऑफ होना चाहिए, बहुत काम कर लिया आज. So you have to decide what you want. This absolutely does not mean that you start taking path micro. Nahin. I mean, path and micro per se are not that safe branches. Acha, another term that we usually use with respect to branches is safe versus non-safe. Now, what does this mean? देखो बच्चे, we always follow the general convention. We follow the rule of averages. The rule of average says कि clinical branches, the when we talk of any clinical branch for that matter, let it be medicine, surgery, obs gynae, let it be any clinical branch, post MDMS your initial earnings will be approximately 1.5 to 1.6 L per month, which will for the next 1 2 years will have a 10% increment per year. It will have a 10% increment, but once patients start coming on your name, sky is the limit. Matlab, there is no doubt about it. For those of you who crave that amount of money, that amount of success, बचे MD medicine. MD medicine, follow it up with DM medical oncology. See, but think of it this way, that medicine under no circumstance is an end branch now. If you are willing to settle in a tier A or even a tier B city, you will have to go for DM. In the sense that even if somebody gets mild diarrhea, he or she does not go to MD medicine, they prefer to go to DM gastro or something like that. So, but once you do MD medicine, it opens up a whole plethora of new field. You have a huge variety. You have a lot of variety of flowers to choose from, ki which one you wish. So clinical branches, the stress is more, the lifestyle is more hectic. You are slightly frustrated during PG time, but during SRship and after that, yes, you are slogging, but the fruits or the benefits are huge. Versus if you go towards radio, versus if you go towards radio or derma, radio immediately post MD, which you will be getting approximately 3 to 3.2 L per month, and then it is an end branch and you can go into interventional radio, you can always increase your skills, but it has a plateau of approximately 5L per month. These are vulgar sums of money, yaar. I mean, this much amount of money is more than sufficient to lead any comfortable life, especially in India. Let's say I'm very curious, how much money do you think is sufficient to lead a comfortable life per month? I'm actually curious. I'll take care of all the queries. I'm again saying this within 5 6 minutes, which I'll start taking care of the queries. But what do you think is the amount of money needed to be comfortable? Personally, I think 1.6 or 1.8 L per month, especially if both you and the partner are earning, is more than sufficient. Yeah, it is more than sufficient. After that, 10. Oh my god, no, you are way too ambitious. But that is why, Swati, I know you personally, and that is why you are with an ortho guy who has a hospital also. So Swati is an exception. But DK, agreed. 1.6 to 1.8 is sufficient, yeah. I mean, it is, after that it is just a figure, it is just a number that is lying in your account. And as doctors, I mean, हम लोगों की ना इतनी इच्छाएं भी नहीं है. आज भी अगर मुझे खाना खाने जाना है, मैं वहीं मैमसी ढाबा या वहीं राजेंद्र का ढाबा में जाता हूँ खाना खाने. आई सिट विद द सेम सेट ऑफ फ्रेंड्स. I usually plan my vacations early. We take cheaper tickets, we travel economy. So nothing changes. Nothing changes. And all of you are medicos, all of you, irrespective of the branch that you choose and irrespective of the rank that you have gotten, are going to have a very nice, comfortable life ahead. I mean, take my word for this. There is absolutely no doubt about it. So, and I am slightly superstitious. ये देखो स्वाति डी के पता ही नहीं क्या करे. Come back. And I am slightly superstitious. So do give me a thumbs up or like the video or put a heart if we are, if we are aspiring for a nice, comfortable, happy life. Firstly. Next, let us come. I'll take one query of Tushar's कि medicine versus ortho. कि if I want some, सबसे पहले तो radio versus medicine. I don't have necessary exposure to no duty hours. बच्चे radio versus medicine दोनों में कोई comparison ही नहीं है. There is no comparison at all. Medicine on one hand is hardcore patient touch. I mean, I will actually suggest this very, very frankly. Radio or medicine को, just because you have an awesome rank, do not keep the two things together in your mind as DTs. You need to decide whether you want patient touch or not, whether you want rigorously to attend emergency duties, night calls for the next 7 years. I'm saying 7 years because you will be doing MD for 3 years, at least 1 year of SRship, and then DM for another 3 years. So those 7 years तक you will be doing night duties. You will not be able to sleep peacefully, put your phone on DND कि आज तो मैं सो रहा हूँ या घूमने जा रहा हूँ or something like that. No. Versus radio, in which you will be hanging out with friends, going out on movies and dating nice girls starting from first year PG itself. So the two branches are totally opposite, firstly. Secondly, as you have yourself said, I want to do some procedures also. So your second DD is medicine with ortho. So if you have medicine, ortho and radio in your DD list, but I will genuinely suggest that remove radio because your heart is pointing towards a clinical branch. देखो नॉर्मली होता ये है कि हम लोग लड़की के मामले में दिल की सुनते हैं एंड ब्रांच के मामले में दिमाग ज़्यादा लगा लेते हैं. नहीं, दिल की सुननी चाहिए. हार्ट यूजुअली टेल्स अस राइट थिंग्स इन लाइफ. सो मेडिसिन वर्सेस ऑर्थो, the best way to know where your skills lie, देखो काउंसलिंग में भी टाइम है. You have at least 1.5 months before counseling actually begins, so you can actually work in some setup as a JR and try to see the actual lifestyle of both and do and assist them. Next, government is increasing yearly condition like engineering. Those DK, मुझे actually I am not able to understand the meaning of the word saturation. I mean, I am saying this very frankly कि we hear so many times कि चैट जीपीटी मतलब आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस, यू नो कि रेडियो विल बी, रेडियोलॉजिस्ट सेचुरेट हो जाएंगे, पैथोलॉजी खत्म हो गया, ये वो. नहीं दोस्त, नहीं. इट ऑल डिपेंड्स अपॉन द पर्सन. See, yes, there are safe branches. There are few branches which are never ever going to get saturated because the population is also increasing drastically. That human touch will always be needed, firstly. Secondly, yes, the concentration of doctors, especially in tier A cities, is much higher. अगर इवन हम लोग सुपर स्पेशलिटीज की भी बात करें, द पे ऑफ अ डीएम in a metropolitan city will always be slightly on the lower side as compared to that in a tier B city, of course. But जब मैं वो lower side की बात कर रहा हूँ तब भी बच्चे वो 4.5 to 5L per month है. It is a vulgar amount of money. So absolutely no doubt about it. Absolutely no doubt. Devraj, hi, evening though. Certainly nice to hear from you. Acha, Tushar, that was so sweet that you were different from Ortho. That was a sweet message. I just saw the first name. Fair enough. Fair enough. So those medical versus surgical branches. Medical versus surgical. मेडिकल ब्रांचेस में एटलीस्ट कुर्सी पे बैठे हुए हो, नाइट ड्यूटीज लग रही हैं, सब कुछ हो रहा है, बट ब्लड stools and stuff are not coming on your dress. You are not getting your hands dirty with other people's body fluids. Versus surgical branches जिसमें हम लोगों को आता कम है, नॉलेज कम है, बट हम वी आर मेकिंग अ मेजर चेंज इन पेशेंट्स लाइव्स. वी आर ऑपरेटिंग ऑन द पेशेंट and making life or death decisions on the spot. So if that is what gives you the kick, key, it is in my hands, I'll be making a decision on the spot, following it up and then justifying it later even on my limited knowledge, then surgical branches are for you. But it has a long latency curve. That is until you take ortho. Until you take ortho. Acha, another thing is कि guys taking obs gynae. I mean, frankly speaking, 11-12 में मैंने तो मेडिसिन उठाई ऑब्स गाइनी के लिए थी, बट वैसा हुआ नहीं. बट all jokes apart, the Indian society is opening up to obsgynae, male obsgynae, especially after all those nice movies, Aishman Khurana and stuff. And we need more cool, calm people in obsgynae. So certainly do not restrict obsgynae because of your gender. And majority of the most successful infertility specialists are males. And when I say this, this of course does not mean that females are not successful. I mean, it is a female dominated branch. It is one of the most highly paid and most successful branches, with majority of the patients being happy. Yeah, delivery हुई है, कौन happy नहीं होगा ना? And they do not even mind shelling out more money for a good calm obs gynae. So one of the most safe and golden branches to be taken. Next, the three other golden rules in life, that is, always prefer branch over college. There is no doubt about it. Do not make this mistake कि until मतलब बिल्कुल ही खराब जगह मिल रही है, या until there is a place which you, for whatever personal reasons you don't want to leave your city, until वो वाले considerations नहीं है, prefer branch over college firstly. Secondly, if you have a clinical acumen, बच्चे go for DNBs. Go for DNBs, even including anesthesia, over MD paraclinical. देखो, MD somebody who does not want to take pathology or microbiome, somebody who देखो path microbiome में ना कभी भी डॉक्टर वाला फील नहीं आएगा. Yes, you will be talking with the patient, but not verbally. You will be seeing his slide and making a diagnosis or telling about prognosis and stuff, but डॉक्टर वाला फील नहीं है, पेशेंट टच नहीं है, एंड इवन घर वालों को भी नहीं लगता कि आप डॉक्टर हो कि नहीं टाइप्स. सो फर्स्टली, सेकेंडली, इनकम इज स्लाइटली ऑन द लोअर साइड. सो जब वो 10 ईयर वाला रीयूनियन होगा कॉलेज में, मेजोरिटी ऑफ योर क्लिनिकल फ्रेंड्स, स्पेशली वर्किंग इन प्राइवेट सेटअप, will be much more luxuriously comfortable as compared to a paraclinical. So do not take MD paraclinicals if you have a clinical acumen. But if you have the thought process कि नहीं, while listening to the patient it gives me a headache कि मुझे नहीं सुनना कहाँ दर्द हो रहा है, क्या हो रहा है, whatsoever, in that case paraclinicals is for you. Next point. So do not compromise between a clinical versus paraclinical. Next, if it is your first attempt, then though absolutely no compromise. I am going to repeat this again क्योंकि the more this is reinforced in your mind, better will be your decision making कि first attempt में तो मुझे compromise करना ही नहीं है. If you have already dropped a year, in that case, of course, we will go towards picking the seat. Pick. One of the most genuine queries that a student has is कि my financial condition does not allow me to take a private seat. So sir, should I take a loan for say anesthesia, MD anesthesia in private, or should I go for paraclinicals government college? But you're taking a loan. If it is नहीं बच्चे, there is no way ortho is getting saturated. Saturation का कोई concept ही नहीं है. Saturation को दिमाग से निकाल दो, except with respect to path and micro, that too in tier A cities which is slightly saturated. But when I say slightly saturated, ऐसा नहीं है कि जो इस टाइम पे मेरे juniors path या micro में निकल रहे हैं वो भूखे मर रहे हैं या jobs नहीं है या something. Not at all. Saturated just means that they will not get that vulgar amounts of money that their clinical counterparts will be getting. That is the meaning of saturation. Ortho under no circumstance is getting saturated. देखो होता ये है कि ना ऑर्थो में आदत पड़ी हुई है कि 10-12 लाख कमाना है. I'll tell you something. I know I should not say it on a public forum, but in 2005-6, you can Google this information. HOD Ortho Safdarjung was gifted a Mercedes by 3 MRs. He was gifted a Mercedes. Ortho HOD. Ortho is one of the biggest paying branches. So अगर उस vulgar amount of money की आदत है तो नहीं, but as such if you are talking about saturation, there is no way it is saturated. No way दोस्त. Next, if it is the second attempt and you are taking a loan, taking a loan of up till, I'm talking about middle class. I'm from a very middle class family and I'm the first doctor in the family, so I can always relate to this thought process. If you have to take a loan of about 8 to 10 L, or if you are picking a seat of about 8 to 10 L per year, considering it as MD anesthesia in a private college, certainly go for that. MD anesthesia, ENT, optha, but you go for it because the earnings will be much higher in these branches as compared to paraclinicals. You will be able to compensate for that. Next, psychiatry. Just a sec. Samuel and Shubhi Bachi, you need not retract messages. I mean, I am extremely friendly, and you can ask me absolutely anything. Before I go further, I'll talk about nuclear medicine also. Psychiatry and nuclear medicine. बच्चे, साइकेट्री इज नॉट अ ब्रांच जिसको ऐसे ही उठा के बैठ जाएंगे कि चलो सीट मिल रही है उठा लेते हैं. इट इज़ नॉट लाइक कि चलो ईएनटी ऑप्था नहीं मिल रही तो ईएनटी उठा लेते हैं. अच्छा, बिटवीन ईएनटी एंड ऑप्था विच इज़ टू बी चोजन? आई विल सर्टनली प्रेफर एमएस ऑप्था over ENT. A preference choice, a personal choice. I'll tell you why. In the sense that, I just did one tracheostomy, and I have said this previously in some of my videos also. I just did one tracheostomy, and the minute I had given an incision, everything had splattered on my face. So ENT is sort of a dirty branch. But again, it is a personal choice. You need to know your personal biases. All of us have our personal biases. We are flexible over majority of things, but there are some things in life over which we are non-flexible about. You need to know those non-flexible things and make the best possible decision depending upon your rank available. Next, Tushar bache, you will need to see what gives you the kick. Making immediate decisions, getting your hands dirty with blood, feces, stools, and stuff, that is surgical, versus being more house like, that is house MD like, long term decision making, experimenting with the patient, and giving therapy which will yield slower results. These are the two opposite spectrums of medical versus surgical. Only you can decide that, those, nobody else. Now talking about psychiatry, KBB, yes, nothing is more cooler or with a better life balance as compared to radio, those even first year PG. I mean, मैमसी के बिल्कुल ऑपोजिट वी हैड डिलाइट सिनेमा हॉल. तो डिलाइट में दो ही पीजी जाते थे, एक हम पैथ वाले, माइक्रो वालों के पास तो पैसे नहीं होते थे, एक पैथ वाले एंड एक रेडियो वाले. सो इट इज़ एक्सट्रीमली कूल इवन ड्यूरिंग रेजिडेंसी. Now, talking about psychiatry, just a sec. Uh, Next, that is really kind of you. I mean, these such kind words and messages, bache, please do give a thumbs up or like or subscribe the video if you think that such videos are helpful. No doubt. Now, talking about psychiatry, this is not a run of the mill branch. It's not run of the mill in the sense कि चलो ऑप्था नहीं मिला, रन ऑफ द मिल की ऑप्था नहीं मिला तो ईएनटी उठा लो, ऐसा नहीं है. ईएनटी नहीं मिल रहा तो साइकेट्री उठा लो. It is not like that. It is not like that. I'm saying so because dealing with altered mindset patients alters a psychiatrist's thought process also. I mean, I'll actually, I have that personal bias. I'll say this, that I've just dated one person in I mean, I have not dated much, of course. I dated a girl in psychiatry, and what I realized was कि she was always analyzing my each and every statement. कि मैंने बोला ये है, but उसका मतलब ये है. It is, like being in police or being a lawyer. You always try to find out the hidden meaning, even behind simple statements. तो ना life simple नहीं है. देखो, I'm superstitious. I believe in positivity towards life. I believe in the fact that whatever negativity or what, see, as doctors, you will always be exposed to bad things happening in life, especially if you are in medicine surgery. You will be seeing many deaths, many more deaths as compared to a average person. So it starts affecting you. In pediatrics, I saw it during my hemato-oncology names. A wonderful pediatrician, but was on therapy for depression because he, every time a kid died in his ward, it was personally affecting him. Same is true with respect to psychiatry. You are constantly getting exposed to altered behaviors and altered thought processes. You're dealing with with that particular patient, taking long histories and trying to cure him. So it is going to alter your thought process. So take psychiatry, because Samuel, those you need not retract. I could not read your message. So take psychiatry only if you are inclined towards that branch. And usually the people who want psychiatry do not have any other DD. They don't want any other branch. They don't want any other. This is with respect to psychiatry. Next, uh, next, sorry, I'm not going to answer that. Next, so coming back with respect to nuclear medicine, nuclear medicine, a simple, nice, comfortable job, getting you approximately 1.6 L per month. Of course, has a plateau of about 2 to 2.2 L. No night emergencies, no night duties, but the job will be hospital dependent in the sense that majority of the places in tier A and only the big hospitals in tier B cities will be employing. Many times it will be just one nuclear medicine doctor in a in a particular hospital, which will take care of the whole setup. Next next this gets us to the college thought process. I am actually glad, KVV, that you asked me that. नहीं किशोर, बच्चे, when you say a bipolar doctor, which branch is best? नहीं. When you say with respect to bipolar, I will personally say कि go for a calm, cool branch where the amount of stress is low. I am saying so because stress will exacerbate your mental condition, firstly. And secondly, in the end, it is about a successful life. Now, what do you think? What do I mean by a successful life? Does having more money in account make it successful? No. Does having more free time alone makes it successful? Of course not. मैं खाली बैठा हूँ. That does not mean I am successful in life. Of course not. It is about the right balance and looking forward to going to the hospital the next day. देखो, everybody is going to have bad days. All 7 days in life will never be equal. Everybody actually is going to have bad days, but the number of good days should far exceed your number of bad days. This is what a successful life is. Good days should exceed the number of bad days. If you are able to achieve this, I'll say you are very successful in life. And achieving this is in your own hands. It is not in your HODs, not in your co-PGs, not in your partner's hand. I have seen people bitching about the cutest girl I've ever seen in my life versus other people being actually content in conditions which would have frustrated majority of them. So it is actually in your hands. Next, नहीं बच्चे नहीं, लिमो नहीं, MD medicine is not sufficient even in a tier 2 city. मतलब MD medicine is no way I am going to write this. I am not just going to speak it up. This is because if you are taking MD medicine, you have to realize that you are getting into a branch in which you will be giving a paper 3 years down the line again. नो डाउट अबाउट इट. बच्चे डीएम की तो बाद में सोचेंगे. कार्डियो लेने, न्यूरो लेने. कार्डियो की तो वैसे भी सीट थोड़ी सी खाली जाती हैं. डीएम न्यूरोलॉजी, द मोर्टेलिटी इज एक्सट्रीमली हाई, सो इट स्टार्ट्स अफेक्टिंग यू. इफ डीएम करना ही है तो वाई नॉट इन ऑन को हिमैट. Next, medicine radio surgery. Vivek, हाँ बच्चे, certainly you can speak to me, you can contact me. My telegram is Sushant Soni Pathology. You can join the telegram group, you can send a DM and I'll take care of it. But those IENT कर सकती है, end branch है, IENT कर सकती है, लेकिन IENT के comparison में if you are getting MD medicine, don't go for IENT, go for medicine बच्चे. You have a beautiful rank. Why do you want to compromise on medicine and go for optha ENT? नहीं नहीं. टेक मेडिसिन, टेक मेडिसिन. 3 साल बाद देख लेंगे क्या करना है, और मतलब चिंता नहीं करनी. मेडिसिन उठाओ. लिमो आई ऑप्था ENT नहीं उठानी. नेक्स्ट इज आई एम विद रिस्पेक्ट टू कॉलेज. देखो दोस्त, लेडी हार्डिंग में रेडियो है ही नहीं. In the sense that when I say radio है ही नहीं, of course LHMC has radio, but they just have the ultrasound machine. They do not have CT MRI. Acha, I like to say another thing. I'm glad that KBB has opened up a whole plethora of questions at this point. Firstly is, suppose you are getting a college. I will not name it as Harding or RML or something. Suppose you get a college which does not have the adequate exposure. जैसे मान लो किसी को सर्जरी उठानी है, ही इज हेल बेंट ऑन सर्जरी, बट ही इज गेटिंग DNB सर्जरी. तो वो DNB सर्जरी लेनी चाहिए, या शुड ही ऑप्ट फॉर DNB एनेस्थीसिया? बच्चे, इफ यू वांट सर्जरी एंड यू आर गेटिंग DNB सर्जरी, ऑफ कोर्स गो फॉर DNB सर्जरी. कटिंग चांसेस विल बी लेस. देखो, ये हमेशा बोला जाता है दैट टेकिंग DNB सर्जिकल्स, द कटिंग चांसेस विल बी मिनिमल as compared to DNB in non-surgicals. That is very true. But if you actually want a branch, you should go for it, because after MBBS, PG is just your first stepping stone. You have your whole life to learn. I know when we take classes, we usually say कि एक बार PG में घुस गए तो life set है, this that whatever. Yes, that is mostly true, but PG is when we learn the maximum. That does not mean that your learnings stop at PG. Not at all. It is you have your whole life to learn. You have your whole life to improve your skills. So does it? Yes, PG college matters a lot. It develops your thought process. But if you're not getting that good a college with that amount of exposure, or I should not say good or bad, that branded a college with the right amount of exposure, does not matter. Still choose branch over college any day. Firstly. Secondly, when when you have to choose a college, bache, it is not only about the academics of the college, not at all. It is also about the place. I know somebody has to say this. Dekho, if you are from North India, always prefer a college which is in North. I am saying so because you will be much more comfortable with the food, much more comfortable with language, making groups, peers, partying out. When you are doing PG time is hectic. You need to be in a comfortable setup. That does not mean ki you should not take a college in South, not at all. But while choosing, versus if you are from South, I have I have seen so many South Indian students come up to me and say, "Sir, कि North में ना discrimination बहुत है. Discrimination is happening, or when there is a party, many North Indian PGs do not include us." But ये वो discrimination नहीं है. It is not discrimination. It is just about a cultural difference. We North Indians, we like to drink. पीने के बाद इंग्लिश में, वैसे ही हमें इंग्लिश नहीं आती, इंग्लिश में उसके बाद तो बिल्कुल ही बात नहीं होती. So it is not about discrimination, it is just about being in a comfort zone. And comfort zone depends upon food also. So suppose you are a Punjabi, like I am a Punjabi. I'll not be much satisfied with food in say Chennai or Kerala. And I'm sure it is vice versa also. So, while choosing college, you are choosing at least for the next 3 years. So choose wisely. Choose your city wisely is what I'll say. Sure. That's a totally separate session altogether. I'll be giving you the DNB list of colleges branch wise, which that's a separate session. That's separate altogether. Rahul, DGO versus MD anesthesia. Rahul, बच्चे, you are choosing between surgical and medical. Firstly, दोनों ठीक है. लेकिन if we talk purely with respect to money, obs gynae has a much higher scope as compared to anesthesia. देखो, anesthesia, what are the earnings? It will depend upon the number of nights you do. Even during PG, I know people getting approximately 12 per month कि जितना PG से आया उसके बाद 4-5 nights लगा ली in a month in ICU and you earn that. Then when as you keep on getting older, anesthesia versus surgery, may the surgeon is suppose getting 35,000 for an operation, anesthetist is only getting 5K for that operation. So wide gap widen होता जाता है as the person keeps on getting senior in anesthesia. तो वो थोड़ा सा drawback है. Anesthesia has a plateau because what surgeons do is they have 2-3 anesthetists on call, so they will call कि अच्छा how much will you charge. कोई 5,000 ले रहा है, the other person is willing to take 4,500 in private setup, they will call the 4,500 guy. So anesthesia has this slight drawback because it is not, the patient is not coming on your name, versus DGO, that is obs gynae, the person is coming on your name. So if you are cool and calm in obs gynae and make a good private practice, sky is the limit. Sky is absolutely the limit. My own batchmate earns close to 40K per day in obs gynae, and उसने अभी Mahindra is that 700 XUV, and that is her third car. She does not take offs except on her son's birthday. So obs gynae depends upon how good your hand is. Next, so Rahul Bache, that was for you. मेडिसिन एज वेल एज बीइंग ओटी. सैम्यूल, बच्चे कंसेप्ट्स तो ठीक हैं लेकिन ऑर्थो में हैंड्स ऑन काफ़ी ज़्यादा है. सो देखो, अगर एंड तक कन्फ्यूजन रहे ना बिटवीन, एंड आई एम सेइंग दिस फॉर एवरीबडी, अगर एंड तक कन्फ्यूजन रहे बिटवीन मेडिसिन वर्सेस ऑर्थो, especially if you're a guy, go for ortho. Next is limo, बच्चे. I think I had taken care of your doubt कि आई का सेटअप है पहले से. अगर पहले से आई का सेटअप है देन तो यू हैव द पेशेंट बेस फ्रॉम योर पेरेंट्स. इन दैट केस यू कैन सर्टनली गो फॉर ऑप्था. फॉर द पीपल हुज पेरेंट्स आर डॉक्टर्स, इट इज़ ऑलवेज बेटर टू चूज दैट प्रोफेशन बिकॉज पापा मम्मी ने ऑलरेडी उसमें अपना पेशेंट बेस बनाया हुआ है. दे विल बी गेटिंग ट्रांसफर्ड टू यू. Next, Asha, another thing that I like to say is with respect to the paraclinicals. This gets us to the medium ranks, medium or slightly lower ranks. We are talking about three paraclinicals, that is path, micro, and pharma. Path, micro, pharma. Now, if you are a guy, prefer pharma over path micro, but be willing to travel. देखो, with respect to pharma, I am not going to talk about the conventional कि you can become a faculty or you can join a college or you can open up your own OPD writing MBBS MD. I'm not going to talk about that. In pharma, I'm going to talk about corporate practice. And in corporate and pharma, which is sky is the limit. It is huge. If you have good communication skills and are willing to travel, it will involve traveling. Sky's the limit. And if you are a girl with with these set of qualities and are willing to slightly compromise on personal life and travel, absolutely sky is the limit. With even 4 5 years post PG, pay scale being about 45L per month. That is huge with lots of perks also. So it is a good branch. It is a good branch for the guys. Now think of it for the other way around. If you're a girl who for whatever XYZ reason wants to settle down or think कि post marriage traveling इतना नहीं हो पाएगा because corporate even the working hours are huge, they are exhaustive. In that case, prefer path over micro any day. PSM, the WHO jobs are slightly getting saturated. PSM थोड़ा सा saturated की side है. So so नहीं स्वाति, मतलब my communication skills are nothing as compared to you baby, no doubt about it. Next, did not get MD gynae or DNB diploma. हाँ बच्चे, Rahul, that is what I said. I understood when you said DGO. I totally understood that. And it's think of it from the patient's viewpoint. यार patient को कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. Obs gynae, the word of mouth publicity is huge. I mean, देखो, that is where the personal bias also comes in. I mean, I am slightly biased towards radio and ops gynae. I guess these are the only two branches I will leave my path for. So I have a positive bias towards them. That is why I'm saying you can certainly go for DGO. Certainly go for that. Limo, bache, ye to this 45 what I am talking is just 4 to 5 years post MD. I'm saying so because closer you are to making money, closer you are to being in contact with the decision makers, more money is what you will be getting. How does a MD medicine earn? He or she earns by seeing individual patients. Patient आया, उससे 800 rupees लिए, 1000 rupees लिए, 1500 लिए, and that is his fee. And he earns, so though he needs to invest more time, he needs to invest more hours. Versus how does a pharma guy earn? A pharma guy is selling his drug pan India. And if his communication skills and selling skills are good, I mean, it's huge, yeah. It is huge. Next, which is surgery versus ortho. Akhilesh, I'm actually again glad that you asked me this. If both are surgical branches, both are rigorous. Between surgery and ortho wins any day. Ortho wins any day because surgery again is not an end branch. Firstly, acha, another common query that I get is, ki sir, should I go for MS surgery versus MCH 6 years course? I'll always say go for MS surgery. This is because while doing MS, it will tell you which side your preferences lie. So you can make a better, more informed choice after MS surgery कि किस department में MCH करनी है as compared to just choosing it at that point. Next, KBB, actually a good question. Good college with bond or college without bond? But it depends upon the bond amount. Bond amount as well as time. Bond amount versus time. I am saying so because many considerations come into this. Suppose you are already in Northeast. अब I think Assam has the maximum bond of I think 7 years. तो वो तो बिल्कुल crazy हो जाता है. नहीं तो majority of the places have a 1 year bond. एक साल तो वैसे ही बीत जाएगा यार. Now suppose you are doing radio with at a place with a 3 year bond. See, in the end, bond wala thing na boils down to money, nothing else. You're doing radio and the place has a 3 year bond, or you need to pay say 20L, or you need to pay 30L as bond money. Pay 30L, come to your city, establish your practice, because 30L तो तुम्हारा एक 1 year में ही निकल आएगा. So there is no point being stuck in that place for 3 years. So bond depends upon the bond amount, also the bond time period, and the branch that you are in. So we cannot generalize it as such. नेक्स्ट बच्चे कुछ भी नहीं, नथिंग. विवेक कुछ भी नहीं. ये एक्चुअली दैट इज व्हाट आई मेंट व्हेन आई सेड कि इवन आफ्टर डूइंग सर्जरी, एमएस सर्जरी, आई मेंट इट फ्रॉम मैमसी, आरएमएल, एम्स, whatever. The minute you enter into private practice, you will just be holding a laparoscope in private, and post ms surgeon hardly gets 1.5 to 1.6 L. सर्जरी में एक्चुअल अर्निंग starts after age of about 38 to 40 years, and then sky is the limit. But I again say this, that I am slightly greedy that way, in the sense ki I want money slightly earlier. I am just pointing towards अच्छा मुझे बोला पेज नहीं मिल रहा. So doesn't matter if you want money to come to you slightly at an earlier age group. In that case go for end branches. Done. लास्ट क्वेश्चन. नहीं लिमो, सॉरी नहीं बोलना, इट्स परफेक्टली ओके. रेडियो भी मिल रही है, आई मेडिसिन, दोनों की जगह रेडियो करनी चाहिए. लिमो, लाइफस्टाइल तुम्हें अपना डिसाइड करना होगा. देख बच्चे, आई थिंक यू आर फ्रॉम अ वेरी कंफर्टेबल सेटअप, योर पेरेंट्स आर डॉक्टर्स एंड दे हैव एन ऑप्था क्लिनिक. Plus, probably you are a girl going by your cute DP and name. So, क्यों life में इतना hectic करना है ना? If I was in your place, I would have taken radio, eyes closed. I would want a nice, comfortable life, decent earning, and enjoying my life. I would not have wanted to work too hard seeing patients, but then that is me. So, on this positive note, actually, this tells us that there is actually nothing right or wrong. There is no right decision, there is no wrong decision. It is all about a personal decision and deciding and knowing what you want in life. That is what I know. वो तो हो गई ना, तभी तो उन्होंने इतना बड़ा हॉस्पिटल बनाया है. So believe in your dream. I know this is a pretty girl's hand. Meg, certainly, I'll talk about anesthesia and then we wrap up the session. Anesthesia, bache, extremely hectic. I mean, it is as hectic as medicine ops gynae. Money is good. It starts coming initially only. Immediately post PG, you can get up to 2 or 2.2L per month, but it depends upon the number of night duties also that you are willing to do. More duties you do, more is the money. There is absolutely no doubt about it. But it starts taking a toll on your health, firstly. And secondly, as you start becoming senior, the gap keeps on increasing. क्योंकि anesthesia में surgery के बाद तुम्हें 5K मिला वर्सेस अ सर्जन जिसने सेम टाइम वो वहाँ पे रहा 35K. द डिफरेंस वॉज कि एज एनेस्थेटिस्ट तुम कॉफ़ी पी रहे थे मशीन के पास बैठ के, सर्जन खड़े होकर ऑपरेट कर रहा था. बट दिस मनी गैप starts pinching few anesthetists. So you should be knowing that you are entering into a branch that has a cap of say maximum 2.5 to 2.8 L per month. नेक्स्ट. हाँ बच्चे, लेकिन केबीबी वो प्लेट्यू इतना ज़्यादा है ना कि फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता. सो बिलीव इन योर ड्रीम, decide what you want and go ahead. So on this positive note, bache, bestest of luck. Seriously, I mean, I cannot say this with more concern. Bestest of luck, and for all the future endeavors in your life. And may you all have a great, happy, successful life. Not a rich life, not only a free life, but a successful life. The success parameters being what you actually want. Done it. Done it. You can ask all your queries in the comment section and I'll make sure that I reply to those. Thank you. Thank you. Take care and good night. This is our first session together. We'll be having more sessions where we talk about the DNB college list, the branches, and everything. Take care. Thank you and take care.